Hey guys, girls, gals, people, gal, gal, friend, people. My name is Reginald Ogron. Please call me Reg. You probably know me if you're watching this video already a little bit. Um, this intro is already too long. Um, and I'm here to talk to you today about a very specific problem concerning a lot of the players of the Butcher's Circus that affects everyday lives of countless people every day. Now, as you guys know, the Darkest Dungeon Butcher's Circus expansion dropped the other day. It was really cool. Everyone's thirsting over the Ringmaster and her broken teeth, and they want her to step on her with their hobnailed boots and what have you. But there's this very serious problem that I noticed when I first picked up the game, you see the issue here is that a lot of the attacks now have been reworked for certain heroes so that they cause stress, and this isn't really a problem because you can just crit people uh, with a leper, and then everything's fine. Um, but a recent meme has arisen in the community because of the number of people taking the Man-at-Arms character and just they see the Bellow, the move called Bellow in the little stat sheet for the Man-at-Arms, and they're just like, wonder what I should do with this. Inflicts 10 stress? More like, I'll put stress trinkets on my Man-at-Arms character. And then they will literally, after they use maybe Bolster to, get that permanent thing for the entire fight, just a little bit of advantage there. Suddenly, all of a sudden, they're just spamming Bellow over and over and over again. Every time it's that Man-at-Arms turn, it's just Bellow moving on, 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 Bellow moving on. Anywho, so after the, I've come to the and well. A sort of a meme has arisen within the Darkest Dungeon community about these guys, and Bellow spammers, because it's just too, because all it boils down to is that, even though it's inflicting stress damage and causing all your guys to get afflictions and heart attacks and whatnot, I you know what it really boils down to is it's a guy shouting at the enemy team and making them scared. So it's pretty funny when that's all that they're doing. They're just going for 10 hours straight. That's pretty entertaining to watch. So that's why it's a meme. But I would like to point out the ethical quandaries that one runs into when using Bellow Spam. Now, first off, we have the actual gameplay moral quandaries that you tend to run into while Bellow spamming, which is that the Man-at-Arms is a very versatile character, and Bellow is only one of the moves. I bet all of you Bellow spammers, you didn't even use Bellow in the PvE main campaign, because all it does is inflict a damage debuff on the enemies, when they're probably already going to be dead to your 2 lepers and your Vestal or whatever. I don't know. That's not really important. But as soon as you see that 10 stress, you're like, oh, I must use the 10 stress. I understand that there are other moves within the game that can be stress augmented to create a stress party, but with the Houndmaster and the Antiquarian, not only do they get limited uses, but in addition to that, not only do I think they get limited uses. I might be going insane there. But they're also pretty squishy, so my Leper and Arbalest will take them down pretty quickly. The thing about the Man-at-Arms is, that the guy has a Crusader on his team, so that he can give the Man-at-Arms 60% protection, and then he's gonna, have 60% protection for the entire fight. The entire fight! 60% of my damage! Where's it going? Down the shitters where it's going! But my point is, the Man-at-Arms has 6 other abilities, one of which is this cool thing called Defender, which allows you to actually guard people, usually while they're on death's door or they're about to be killed, so that they don't get killed, and that the Man-at-Arms just absorbs all of that damage because he's a massive Chad despite being 70 years old. Now, the thing about this is, And another thing is that the man-at-arms, right? He has this ability called Retribution, which only does 3 damage, but it inflicts this magical new status effect that has never before been seen in the game called Riposte. And you know what Riposte does? When enemies attack you, you attack them back, and you can put the correct trinkets on the man-at-arms to give him some serious riposting power. And he can then riposte people to death while they're on death's door, which is a really cool thing. But no, all I see is the Bellow Spam. You know, man-at-arms, in the base game, he has the thing where, like, some angel wings appear over his head, and then he also has the bolster, and he gives buffs, but nobody uses those, and I don't understand why. It's just an old man yelling. Kind of like how I'm yelling, and, you know, I'm pretty young, actually. That's not... And the other thing about the man-at-arms, is the ethical quandary that you run into. When it comes down to it, you're making a man who is in his 70s or 60s, somewhere along those lines, you're making a 60 to 70-year-old man repeatedly shout until his lungs start coughing up bile. Imagine going up to your grandpa and being like, Grandpa, there are some people over there and they want to kill me. Can you please go shout at them? And he's like, alright, I'll go shout at them once, maybe. And then he's like, hey, you darn kids, get off my lawn and stop bothering my grandson. And you're like, shout more, grandfather. Shout more! Shout more! And more! And his grandfather is just shouting and shouting and shouting, and he's on his hands and knees, and there's coughing up blood from all the shouting that he's doing. He's like, keep shouting, or we won't win. If you don't keep shouting, then they won't die. They won't die, Grandpa, if you don't keep shouting. And imagine making a 70-year-old man who went to Vietnam and back have to shout until he dies. Pretty much. That's his only purpose in life, to shout. It doesn't matter if, you know, he's really skilled in weapon training or anything. But all you want is the shouting. That's it. That's all you want. The shouting is the only thing that's necessary. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, what? So the next time I see a bellow spammer online and he just starts bellowing and bellowing and going, and his man-at-arms are like, oh, please run away from me, I'm scared. I'm gonna message him on Steam. I'm gonna go onto his Steam page and I'm gonna message him. Excuse me, sir, would you make your grandfather repeatedly yell until his lungs started failing? I'm gonna ask him that question. Thank you for listening to my 8-minute long rant. Oh god, this took too long. Oh no.